Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest is Josh. He's been on this podcast numerous times. Super cool guy, very spiritual. Dabbles in a lot of new things just to better himself and help humanity.
Thanks for having me back, brother.
Yeah, man, of course. You said you dabble in fortune telling?
I mean, I just got some tarot cards.
And
Uh,
have they told you things before?
yeah,
What
yeah.
have they told you?
Um, they basically have confirmed a huge increase of income,
Okay.
as well as that in the next 7 to 8 months, I'm going to be meeting the love of my life, apparently.
Damn, sign me up for that, bro.
Yeah.
Can we both meet
It's...
the love of our life? Can you throw me some of that charm?
Oh, man. I mean, I could always do... I didn't bring the cards with me, but I'd always be down to
How do
read
you
you for
how do you
sure.
read them?
It's intuition, basically. Downloads you just get. So you just kind of just say words that just come to you. You just and when it comes to like any sort of like channeling, you take your time. You be very patient, and from what I've noticed, any channeling of any guides, they don't just come at you.
It's more subtle.
It's way more subtle, like just a slight tap on the shoulder or just a feeling.
Or tickle.
Yeah, tickle,
I don't know if they tickle,
a
but
tickle in your tummy. Yeah,
yeah.
it's exactly how it works. And it's just fun. It's just fun to do readings, and whether it's accurate or not, I feel like there's a lot of information to be gained from.
Do you want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
So I just gave him some Armenian coffee.
Yep.
So it's tradition. They call it Turkish coffee, but it's Armenian coffee. So after you're done drinking it, my mom does this a lot, and there's some other fortune tellers. What they do is they take the cup, they turn it upside down, and then there's some
Oh.
coffee left over that falls over, and it creates an image. So you would give it
Oh,
about 5 minutes,
fantastic. Okay.
and then you pull it over, and you're able to read that person's fortune.
But you got to drain it first.
Technically, you just have to drink a little bit.
A little bit. Okay.
I mean, if you don't want to drink the whole thing, you
Sure,
can try
sure.
it. But it's always like get to drink the whole thing.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'll be sipping at it.
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy because that's another way for people to tell fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, tea leaves. I remember. Okay, yeah, you're right.
It's called tea leaves.
I don't know. I just remember like Harry Potter.
Okay.
Like the Goblet of Fire.
You want to fix that?
Oh, sorry
there you
about
go.
that.
Yeah. The goblet.
I just didn't want to get coffee on,
You just
on
go
your
like this.
expensive mic. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. So, anything interesting going on, brother, that you want to share with us?
Sure. There's always tons of stuff going
So
on.
you bought something where it has to do with Tesla and it purifies water. Can you tell us
Yes.
more about that?
Yeah. So they're called Tesla purple energy plates.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. Or purple harmonizing plates. Harmony plates, I think, is what they're called.
Harmony plates. Okay.
Yeah. And I just kind of I came across this just going through some rabbit holes on YouTube, and found this one describing free energy through a plate that this inventor, Ralph Bergstresser, he had met Tesla before he died. Tesla died, I mean to say.
Yeah.
And he learned how to develop this metal that it gives a form of free energy, which was all Tesla's thing. And it's free life energy that's good for the body, good for plants, it's good for animals. And you can actually charge your water with it. You can charge your food. It naturally removes pesticides. So I've been experimenting with these plates for probably about a month or so.
And what are the differences that you've seen in yourself, or the results?
So I can definitely, for instance, tell my energy has shifted a lot more. A default energy is a lot more happy.
Default energy. Or
Yeah.
you just
Well, I mean, obviously, because you wake up in the morning and you feel a certain energy.
But you
right?
said like you put it on food and things like that
Yeah.
that you consume. And you said sometimes you meditate and use it,
Mhm.
and sometimes you sleep with it. But you say you try not to do it every time you sleep because it does something.
So it can create insomnia.
It can.
Yeah. So,
Oh, that's why
uh,
it gives you a lot of energy, so you can't sleep.
yeah. Can I grab the plate?
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Yeah, let me grab it real fast.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it right behind me. Okay, so this is the plate. All right. So it's kind of like a mouse pad, a huge mouse pad.
Well, that's one
Mouse
form
pad
of it. So
sounds
it can come in various sizes. So, um, I keep. There's also like sizes that are like about yay big, or
okay.
rectangular.
12 by 12.
Yeah.
Put
You
this
can
right
also
behind
get
me.
them the size of a pendant like
Okay.
this. So it's kind of hard to see, but it has a stamp on it that says EIP. I'm not exactly sure what it stands for, but
EIP.
yeah, that's the official stamp on it. So there's like some fake knockoffs apparently out there. So
Okay.
you want to make sure that you have that official stamp on it, showing that it's coming from the legit source, I
Okay.
guess.
And what does this do exactly? Like, if you want to explain to people.
Yeah. So when you start working on yourself, having positive emotions and things like that, all of your energy molecules start cycling. I think on a rest schedule, like rest vibration, it's about like your molecules oscillate back and forth about like 25 to 30 cycles per second.
Mm-hmm.
And these plates naturally emit about 100,000 plus cycles per second. And when you actually expose yourself to it, you raise your energy levels by it's called osmosis, where it just permeates all of the layers of material.
And reverse osmosis when they take all the materials out. That's what they do in some waters.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's reverse
I didn't know
osmosis.
that.
Yep. So when you drink water, it comes with
Yeah.
minerals.
If you want to try this water, it should be charged now. But
The water is charged.
the water's charged. It's been sitting on the plate for about
10 minutes.
10 minutes now.
Yeah.
You may be able to taste a difference.
I don't know if it's me. A little.
Maybe. Well, it's kind of cold and everything, but because it's been refrigerated, so you might not be able to taste an immediate difference. But for me, um, it tastes sweeter. It also feels like it tastes like it's more fluid,
Fluid.
like almost as if it's been heated but without heat. So you know how heated water is a lot more faster in its molecules, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like for me.
Has there been science done on this?
Yeah. So science it's studied.
Really? The Tesla plates.
Yeah.
We'll call it the Tesla plates for me because I'm gonna forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it called again?
Tesla purple energy plates.
Yeah, Tesla plate. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. Actually, I felt a little difference when I put it on my back. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So it naturally heals cuts, bruises, any sort of injury. It just
It just heals it.
basically it returns everything to its natural state of what it should be.
What if you put it on your head and you're feeling kind of dizzy? Will it help?
I don't know that yet. With dizziness,
Or to
I don't.
say
I mean, I guess it could.
hangovers. You know,
Hangovers. In my personal experience, I can only speak of
your body.
yeah, trying to sleep with the energy plate underneath my pillow. I obviously don't sleep with this large thing because it's a hunk of metal that won't be very comfortable to sleep with anyways. But
You can put it on
with
your mattress.
with the tiny rectangle, I didn't bring with me because apparently they have a reputation of dematerializing just randomly, and I've had 2 of these plates just randomly dematerialize.
Do you mean like disappear?
Yeah, just disappear.
And you just turn and find it?
Yeah, apparently they're known for that.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
The rectangular ones?
No, just any of them.
So
but my experience, I've only had the rectangular ones disappear on me.
So you just lost 2 of them.
Yeah, I lost 2 of them. I'm getting a third one.
And there's a reputation for them getting lost. And different people have posted on this.
That's what they actually they describe it on a piece of paper because it comes in this little bag and it describes like what
Really?
it does.
Damn, that's an ingenious manufacturing. But then again,
Well, it's the universe just takes it when it feels like it needs to go elsewhere. You know,
that's actually beautiful.
yeah, it's very beautiful. So
Like
it's giving
Apple,
energy somewhere.
like
It's
Apple
great.
just makes your laptop smaller. I mean,
Yeah.
slower. But this just disappears. That's actually okay. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've had like it sleeping on my chest, and I wake up, and there's no way it should have disappeared, but it has. I went walking with my dog, and the plate was in my pocket. I think I thought it would have like dropped out of my pocket, and I retraced my steps everywhere. No, it
And
fell
it's
out.
purple,
Yeah, it's purple.
so you would have seen it on the
So
floor.
it's associated with the crown chakra, right?
Okay. That's why I said put on your head.
So yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's good. I haven't. Um, and one thing I actually wanted to start experimenting with is maybe taking this pendant. Oh, not this one, but
Yeah. So he has a necklace version of it too, ladies and gentlemen.
yes,
It's like
yes.
a little oval one.
And maybe like wrap the string around my head
That's what I
so I
mean.
can rest on my third eye, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I mean.
And uh, in my experience with just having this beneath my butt for a period of time, it's like I'm getting a lot of more vivid pictures and colors, like someone's flashing like a flashlight in my face randomly. So I'm excited to see what will happen because this has also been resting on my heart chakra for a good chunk of time.
But your heart's already good, bro.
My heart's
Your heart's in a good
super
place.
blessed.
Yeah, that's always a
Blessed.
good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, it's these plates are just a good time.
I'm gonna put it in my safe so money grows in there.
Yeah,
Nah,
there
I'm
you
just kidding.
go.
Nah, bro. I
There
feel
you
like
go.
there's more to life than money. I mean, it's
Well,
always good to have money.
well, it's also a natural like EMF protector as well against like your phones and televisions and things like that.
Really,
Yeah.
this is
So
interesting, bro.
so it basically just oscillates your molecules to be of a high vibration up to 100,000 cycles per second.
So we're going from 30,000 to 100
Yep. Just by holding onto these plates.
just by holding on
by
to it.
proxy, yeah. So it improves your moods, improves your health.
But one thing you said it does
well-being.
is it gives you a lot of energy. So it's not
Yeah.
really good to mess with it
So
right before you sleep.
yeah,
And I know exactly
so
what that is.
obviously anybody can actually. It'll be up to the individual, but people will work well with it if they like spend like maybe 30 minutes to an hour with it, and then just like set it aside, come back to it later.
Or a different day.
Yeah, or a different day, whatever. So just experiment with it. For me, I haven't had any major issues with just having this on my person. For the about 2 months I've worn it. The only time I take it off is basically when I shower. Get back out and I put it right back on. And maybe I exchange some of the necklaces with it, but yeah, it's
Is there like any negative side effects to it?
other than the fact that it gives you too much energy, or that, as I said, the insomnia.
Yeah, you know what? I've had insomnia before because I do a lot of meditations like Joe Dispenza's, and they have the
Mhm.
Kundalini breath, which does the same thing. It sends your vibration up to your pineal gland.
Yeah.
And I have a really hard time sleeping afterwards. And also when I do the Moreau Institute, the Gateway Experience meditations, I have a hard time sleeping. So I know
Yeah.
exactly what you mean because you're pumping too much energy in your head.
But as I said with the experimentation, though, if you can actually, so I actually have this like resting, like above my headboard, just above my head, because kind of like resting against the wall
When
on my
you're-
mattress
when
when I sleep. So my
when
head
you
is like
sleep.
resting here, and it's just like resting right here. So it's just like projecting energy into me, and I can go to bed at like midnight, and I wake up like 5 hours later, not even a full 8 hours, 7 hours, and I feel fully rested as if I got that same amount of sleep.
Really?
Yeah. So it's actually improved my sleeping pattern that way by
Now I want to get this and try it.
it's really
Now I'm
cool.
going to have to test your theory, bro. Do I have to get it this big or I can get a small one?
You can get a small one for like I think it's like $30, and then
Yeah. Do I
the
really need it?
rectangular one is like and these can just be found on Amazon.
Yeah, yeah.
$40 for the little rectangular plate is like $60 for this one.
What about one that's smaller than this but like not that small? It's like 40
I've only
bucks.
found the 3 iterations, but I'm sure there's like tons of them. There's like a triangle one.
Yeah. Okay.
There's like a little circle one that you can get. I
Ooh,
just haven't
I
found
like
any
the
of those so
circle one.
far. Yeah. So
I like the circle.
the
It's
the
like
circle one
infinite.
would be perfect for like, your water or whatever.
Or a meal, small meal.
Yeah, small meal. So you just like charge it for like 10 minutes before you cook
Is
it.
there anything you're not supposed to do? Can you put this in the microwave, or it might mess it up?
I mean, it's metal. You don't want to put metal in the microwave.
I like being experimental.
But I mean, go for it.
Nah, I don't know if I want to. I'll do it at somebody else's house.
I'll watch. Yeah, it'd be fun.
But is there like I don't want to say negative side effects, but is there like anything you should not be doing with it?
I mean, as far as like any sort of negative side effects, from what I've heard, you can also like place photos of people that you want to like send energy to.
Yeah.
And people have reported back after like laying that picture for like 15, 30 minutes that person can actually start feeling anxiety. So like it can send too much energy. Basically, can be a negative side effect, I suppose.
Really, now I'm gonna have to try that with someone. But
Go
like,
for it,
what if
yeah.
that person's sick and I send them energy?
So it has healing properties. The negative side effects is
I don't think that's a negative thing. Sending them energy.
no. It's nil to
How they
none
use that
almost.
energy, that's up to them.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, if they're
It's
sick.
it's free energy. It's with you can do it with as you will.
Not in America, it's not free. I mean, at least it was when Tesla invented it, but then after that, it just kind of,
Yeah, because we went in the way of
not the right way. Yeah, I get you.
J.P. Morgan backed the wrong
That-
person,
Yeah,
but we know the rest is history.
yeah,
But
man, that sucks. But that's interesting. That is totally interesting.
it's really fascinating.
I've actually seen like YouTube videos of it, but I've never like really gone into it. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. So I just sit there and work. Just hold it close to my chest.
When you're
and-
working,
Yeah, while I'm working. And it charges. I can feel like my solar plexus and my sacral and everything just just radically being charged the entire day.
so you're saying have you tried to sleep like 2-3 hours and you wake up and you have full night's sleep?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna try the shit out of that.
Yeah. It's fascinating stuff.
Have you ever tried to do this when you're reading?
Not when I'm reading. No, the only
Maybe you
time I've used it is just when I'm meditating so far. Again, I've only been experimenting with this thing for the past like 2 months, but
I see.
it's been a fascinating ride.
But that's a long time to experiment with something. 2 months.
2 months, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Just use it and try to
creature of
pick up
habit.
chicks. Hey, dude, I would use it for any way I can.
Hey, man.
Why not, dude? If you're
Why not?
you're sending energy out, you have a lot of energy. You're just gonna attract that.
Yeah.
Because energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
No,
It can only
it'll
be
be transmuted. That's right.
Yeah, allocated. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I would try to pick up chicks with it. It's like, hey,
Absolutely.
try my energy board. Right? Like a lot more people are into spirituality now. So hey,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah,
But I definitely want to try it.
It's the best pickup line, I'm sure.
I mean,
try my energy plate.
you'll be surprised. Try my energy plate. It's at my house. Yeah, that's interesting. Dude, another thing. So this morning I just came back from camping with one of my friends,
Yeah.
and like this lady that I was talking to, I don't want to give you her name, but she was from Alaska, and now she lives in like the rural areas of Utah, like rural camping places. And I was like, I slowly started getting into it because I was talking about the Aurora Borealis, and I
Yeah.
got into like UFOs and Bigfoot. And she's like, "Yeah, sweetie, I've totally seen those things."
Mm.
And she started telling me stories, and I actually believed her because her friend was there too. And she's like, "Yeah, I've seen stories too." And then they started showing me pictures of like hovering UFOs and videos, and I was like, "Whoa!" You know how people are like, "Prove it."
Yeah.
They literally did, bro. And it was kind of trippy. Like they showed me. I don't know if you watch Joe Rogan, but there's like that TikTok that you talk about.
Yeah.
That's like an alien TikTok. They literally showed me that numerous times around their house.
Wow. Actual alien entities.
It was a UFO, unidentified flying
Okay.
object. I don't know as far as say it's an alien, but like I'm pretty sure humanity doesn't
I
have
think
that
they
type
would come with a different term for it now.
Yeah.
we know what it is.
It's definitely some far off.
Well, that's fascinating. So she has evidence on her phone of all this.
Yeah, she has evidence on the phone, dude.
That's
and like
great.
she's a totally normal lady. We're having like a normal conversation, and me, I just like to take you off the deep end, and she take you
Yeah.
way off the deep end. Just finish that up. Turn it upside down.
Here we go.
All right. Let's see what we find. Um, but she also said something about Bigfoot. I was like, well, one of my friends, aka his name's Josh, um, that he said that man, just turn off deep end that like Bigfoot is from like an interdimensional plane. And she's like, yeah, for sure. She's like, that's why we don't have any evidence of them. And I was like, oh, okay. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, I was just over at your house recently, and we just went down this rabbit hole of people disappearing on camera and stuff like that, right? It's the same thing, same concept.
People disappearing on camera?
Y- yeah. Do you not remember that?
Which one was that? Was that David Plattis?
No, it was like all those like video things of like birds flying in from nowhere or disappearing.
Yeah. That one, yeah. It was a YouTube video. It was
Yeah,
a bunch of different
just
kind of evidence. So
right.
there's this one guy named David Plattis. He investigates different people just disappearing off of the face of the world.
Hmm.
Like they go hunting or something, and they have their gun, and they have all their equipment, and you cannot find this person. It's
Yeah.
like there's no trace of them.
Yeah.
And there's like a bunch of them. It usually happens in natural parks or national parks.
Yeah.
And there's like no evidence, and they've like dumped like millions of dollars into this, and they're like, there's no,
Wow.
yeah, like we don't know what it is.
That's crazy, man. I mean, I haven't done a whole lot of research into Bigfoot, but from coincidentally, I'm learning a lot of stuff about the Law of One, which is a channel text. I mentioned before in your show that three UFO researchers channeled an entity by the name of Ra, the same Egyptian god
Yeah.
Ra. And through that channel text, they ask about Bigfoot.
They just literally asked them about Bigfoot.
Yeah, they started asking him all sorts of
What?
crazy sci-fi questions.
And one of these guys was under hypnosis, right?
Yeah, so it was Don Elkins was the questioner, and Carla Ruckert was the one doing the channeling, going into a trance. So she's checked out the entire time. And then we have Jim McCarty, who was the scribe, writing down all the question and answers. So Ra introduced themselves as being a sixth density being.
And what are we, third?
We are a third density.
Okay.
And they basically described Bigfoot as originally coming from Mars.
All right.
Which is, I know, kind of out there and everything.
But then again, so is time travel, but that's possible.
Hey, man, but time's relative.
Yeah. So we got there. Do you know when? That's relative too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, travel around the world. Want to see me do it? Want to see you do it again?
Well, I want you to finish your story first. But
But anyways, yeah, they basically just to kind of backtrack a little bit, what they described the density as being when the Big Bang started, it was the source of all of creation having a single thought, and that single thought generated all of the molecules to create a universe. They coagulated and everything, and then that's what became known as fire. All the elements: fire, water, rock, space.
Robert Moreau, he calls it the absolute.
Right. So through trillions of years, the universe was in a state of the first density. And you think of like a big wave like that, it's just really slow, not a whole lot of movement. And then eventually, it was still intelligence. Intelligence evolved to the second density, where it started to interact with its environment. That's where plants and bugs and animals come from, is being able to individualize itself and interact with other beings, interact with its environment.
That second.
Right. And then the universe does a really cool, fascinating thing where it flips in on itself and it sees a mirror of itself, and it has awareness of itself, the sense of I am.
Consciousness?
Right. Consciousness does. And so that's where we come from.
Okay.
Is the third density. And you can correlate it to like the like 7 chakras. There's the 7 scales on a piano, 7 primary colors, things like that. So Ra describes our universe as there's 7 densities essentially. So we started from the first density, go to the second, and now
What's
the
the fourth?
third. The fourth is
Time.
it can be time, yeah. So it's about all about love and everything. But
What's the fifth? Now I know L7, bro. Yeah, what is the fifth though?
um, we don't know that yet, but it always correlates to obviously a progression of the chakras. So we don't even know what the fourth. We can get a sense of what fourth density consciousness would be like, but we don't know exactly what reality will be like. But obviously, we're gonna have all sorts of like gifts that we think are supernatural, like telepathy and teleportation, and things like that.
So like oneness.
Yeah, oneness. Yeah,
Us realizing that we're
yeah,
all
yeah.
interconnected.
So what's really fascinating about the third density is um, the sun or the galaxy forms what's known as a logos. And a logos basically creates an experiment that spirals into creating a sun, then a planet, and then us. And it's like an experiment within an experiment within an experiment. And
Like a Russian doll.
yeah, and the third density is apparently the only density where the veil is covered over our eyes.
Why?
We to basically learn from scratch how to become one with God when we don't have anything.
Just fun, just to see what'll happen.
Yeah, just so basically
Like fuck you guys, let it on your own. Here's the
yeah,
blindness.
here's the
blindfold.
plan. So it was brilliant because this was it wasn't always that way, but when we incarnate, we want to learn lessons, right? And apparently, when they were doing the third density, a lot of people who didn't have the veil covered to their eyes, they were still connected to Source. They knew what their power was. They knew who they were. Not a whole lot of growth, spiritual growth, was happening.
Oh, was it like there's no struggle?
Yeah, there's no struggle, and so how would we know
Or it was
love
kind of boring?
unless we know the contrast of that, right? So
Yeah.
the whole experiment of the third density with having the veil covered finally over our eyes is to basically teach us to organically make a choice to either be of service to others or of service to ourselves. Meaning, uh, you know, service to our fellow man and just kind of being love, or if you actually have, because we all come to the same understanding that everything is one. Um, you and I are one. This table is one with
Well,
us.
you tend to forget that when you're stuck in traffic, or you're at work, you're
You
stressed out.
can,
You can forget those stuff. Like, yeah, I accept that fact
yeah,
because we're all one with God, or however you see God, and you can see it as like whatever, I don't know, aliens, or like a guy with
hmm
a beard in the sky. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, yeah, but
To get back to the where Bigfoot comes from, is basically we have to make a choice organically to be of service to others or service to self. Um, and we have to make that choice organically. Um, and if we make certain choices that propel us to be of service to self, then it becomes a whole like Game of Thrones dynamic, right? Where we're just backstabbing each other. Sith lords are like, you got to strike us down, whatever. This whole like dark energy.
but if you strike me down, I will become more powerful than
Exactly,
ever.
exactly.
Ah,
But but Mars developed in technology to the point where they sabotaged themselves because they became a service to self planet.
kind of like how humans are doing with artificial
Yeah,
intelligence.
I mean,
He
I
said he
can,
he
yeah.
fidgeted. Oh, that's not good.
Uh,
It's true though. It's true, bro.
I mean, there's all sorts of facets going to AI, but Bigfoot basically was a resident of Mars that after they destroyed the whole atmosphere, they basically came here to continue their learned teaching lessons in their incarnation. And yeah, that's the story of Bigfoot from according to Ra.
That's a lot, man, to take in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
So you were talking about Star Wars. Question for you.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I talk to in spirituality, they're like attracted to Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's some truth in there that, like, even in Star Wars, they're like we're all connected to the Metachlorians,
Yeah, yeah.
and we're all connected, and some people are able to move things with their mind. Some people have telepathy. Some people have just in like very very strong intuition, and I feel like as humanity, we're kind of like drawn into that. So I feel like at some point maybe we had that, or we still have that in us. Actually, we still have that in us, but it's kind of dormant.
Dormant, and because what's really fascinating is that Ra says that all 7 of our chakras are dormant, lying in potential. We're all potentially God. We just have to realize it
Yeah.
within ourselves.
Yeah.
And they actually, funnily enough, ask because this was channeled back in the 80s, and that's when Star Wars came out in the late 70s, going to the 80s, and they ask Ra, it's like, what you're describing here actually sounds like Star Wars. Is Star Wars like basically the law of one? There's like, yeah, there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah, I feel like that too, because I've watched it before and I've read like some stories on it, the mythology of it, and even George Lucas, he studied mythology, and his role model was what was it, Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, and that guy studied a lot of mythology too. So there's some truth to it. Well, even like Yoda, in all seriousness, he says, "You think you're gonna judge me by my size?" It's like it's not really the base of my size that matters.
It's your soul,
Yeah, it is, or
Yeah.
your consciousness,
consciousness,
or
yeah.
your will. And like nowadays, we say it's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fight in the dog, which is very true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
which I like.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot of truth to it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's always cool because like Star Wars, like I don't know, and they have swords, bro.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
What'd you think of Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I mean, that dude is.
Do you think he's the most powerful Jedi, or is it like Yoda, or is
mechanically? No.
it mechanically?
Canonically. Canonically.
That's a big word, bro.
Canon.
Okay.
Nerds will know what that means.
Oh.
Canon. Things that happen, and then they describe it. This is known as canon.
Oh.
It's part of the lore, official lore.
So who's like the most powerful?
I don't know a whole lot of Star Wars lore enough to know who's the most powerful. I know Luke Skywalker was known to become
Darth Vader.
At one point the most.
No, that's
powerful,
Anakin, isn't it?
But actually,
Anakin was the most powerful.
The most powerful Sith I had heard about was Darth.
Plagueis or something like that.
It's like Darth Raven.
Raven?
Yeah.
Was it a girl?
No, it was a male. I can't remember the whole story of it. If you like go to there's a channel that talks all about Star Wars lore.
No.
Called Stupendous Wave.
Stupendous Wave. Okay.
I'm not. I like his channel occasionally, so
Okay.
I go there. Stupendous Wave. He talks about all about the Star Wars lore, and he gets into heavy stuff.
Oh,
all about
one thing I really want to get into. You said something inside of you was triggered recently, and now you meditate like 2 hours a day, or like as much as you can, which is pretty much like 3 times as much as you were meditating before, right?
Yeah.
Is that safe to say?
Yeah.
What caused you to start meditating more?
Basically, it was stagnation, and I was feeling a lot of stuck because you and I work together. Sales. We do sales positions and everything. I was just kind of feeling depressed.
Were you?
Yeah.
Why don't you reach out?
Depression works in mysterious ways, man.
So does drugs.
Sure does.
Yeah.
But
so does love and light.
it was honestly, I think it was these plates when I found them.
Interesting.
So basically, when I found these, it actually increased my vibration naturally, and I started feeling just better about myself. And I realized, like, wait a second, what would this do if I actually started meditating with these plates? And it changed. It radically changed everything for me. It was a game changer.
Man, now okay, so explain to us how it's a game changer. So I want to know too.
Yeah, so basically, your resting state, your molecules cycle about like 25, 30 seconds, 30 cycles per second, I
Mm-hmm.
think. And the plates emit, they're just aluminum that have been physically altered in on their atomic level to oscillate about 100,000 cycles per second or more, and that just permeates this positive energy. So it kind of works as like an antenna. That
Transducer.
yeah, yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah, like the one in
Um,
your head, the pineal gland.
right, and basically it just as it permeates this free energy by sheer osmosis, it goes through all the molecules. So it goes through all of like fabric or any sort of like things like that, and just uh, so it just makes your molecules vibrate faster, and just elevates your well-being naturally.
I want to know what happens if.
Which means that also what it really does is it brings your state of being to its natural state.
So it's what did you
So
call
is
it?
your
Homeostasis?
osmosis.
Osmosis.
Yeah. So your water, it brings it to its natural state that it should be in.
Okay.
Also brings your food. It removes pesticides and things like that naturally. Like all of our food nutritionally over 200 years has been
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
been
less.
shit, bro.
Yeah, it's
Not a lot less.
total.
It's shit.
It's not great.
Yeah,
It's not
and it's
great.
been modified. It's
But
been manipulated.
putting on these plates changes that. It radically puts a lot more nutrition. It doesn't matter what foods you put plates on it. It just gives you more energy. The more you, yeah, just eat
Interesting.
it. Yeah. So the more energy you put in your body, the better you feel.
Cool. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I have
Well,
plates with every meal.
that's why if you break anything down to subatomic level, it's just energy.
Yeah.
All right. So you ready to read your first?
I'm ready to
Well,
read.
I mean, I don't know if you want to do it in front of everyone. You wanna do it?
Am I? Are you reading me, or
Well,
am I reading
I mean,
myself, or
I
what's
think
happening? Here?
technically I'm supposed to read you.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should you
I'm
want me
ready
to do
to
it
be
off air,
read.
or you want to do it on there?
No, go for it.
All right, because
your
I'm not really good at this either.
That's okay.
Um. Oh, okay.
What's
That
up?
makes sense. I see you plateauing and then just going uphill.
Oh man, I just keep climbing.
Literally, pretty much what you told me.
Oh, nice.
And then you just spike up like a stock, That's
Yeah.
like gradually going at $5 and then pops up to like 12.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah.
I love that reading.
there you go. I mean, I don't really know shit about readings, but yeah, and that's just what it seems like. You're just supposed to read what you think, your first instinct.
Sure. And that's basically because I've done tarot card readings for other people.
Yeah, I want you to do some cool tarot card readings. Bro.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm
I'd be
down.
happy to do one. We can do one on the podcast for you.
Yeah, I'd rather
absolutely.
do it off a podcast, but yeah.
Or either way. Either way.
Okay, right on, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on my podcast.
Of course.
I appreciate it. Josh, man, I always
As
love
always,
talking
brother.
to you. It's like something always new. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, don't subscribe to this podcast. You'll hear more about Bigfoot and just consciousness. And all of you have a great day. Take care.